All right, everybody. It is 5 o'clock p.m. It is the happy hour live stream. And once again, it's me. It's that VINCE. Hope everybody's doing all right. What's going on with you, Pug Man? I'll tell you one thing. I'm definitely in the need of happy hour right now. I definitely need a drink. You want to know why, folks? When it comes to the end of the month, just about every little thing happens. A lot of work, especially when you run a business. And just about everything just landed flat smack on my desk. And you know what? Not much I can really do about it except keep working here. So the live stream, for some reason or another, whenever I turn off the monetization, it's been put as private, so I just took it off the private just a few minutes ago, where everyone can actually see it. Yes, indeed, I need a beer, except the problem is I'm out of beer. I've not had a chance to go to the store or anything. Not only that, my patio furniture got here. Not nothing major, like $100 and some for it. Just somewhere to, and the purpose of that is to sit outside and do a couple live streams as well, It's the only reason. I'm not a person that usually sits outside. Someone wanted me to do an outside smoke, so we'll be smoking outside a little bit and do a couple extra live streams here. So I got to assemble that after I get finished here, so... And of course, Google's once again messing with one of my website stores by putting me on notice for a suspension again for the same website that's been running for like 20 years. I think what's happening is that when I redid the channel or redid the website, it is coded with Chat GPT, and I think it's just picking up on it, and I just need to get rid of it. But other than that, got a couple videos to review. Someone wanted me to react to Big Lenny's video that he put out about Dale. And I know you guys are going to ask me about McCluck, but I've already put out a response video to it. But feel free to ask me any other questions other than that here. So let's go ahead and get everything pulled up and get started. Let's see here. All right. That's odd. All right, got it right here. All right. So let's see what we got here.
Well, I'm going to address the Dale Chance contest. Due to overwhelming demand, I just got here off the bus in a beautiful 60-something South Florida day. Humidity, but it's in the 60s. And people here are wearing sweaters, coats, and some winter hats and coats on the bus. Believe it or not.
I'll tell you one thing. Sometimes I wish that, I lived in Florida. I got really cold weather around here, so real convenient time for patio furniture, I guess.
Now, I spoke to Dale Chance when I was hospitalized the weekday before his show. And Dale called me in the morning, and I was very happy to receive his call. However, Dale did not mention he was having a contest. So, his recent pictures were a surprise to me. Now, I want to address Dale. I understand that he had an accident. You could tell from his spine that he's a little out of alignment and maybe he has some nerve damage, so I'll give him that. He hasn't competed in a while, so I'll give him that. But Dale, here's the big thing. You weren't lean enough, and you were holding too much water, and most of all, you were flat as a pancake. Now, when I saw those who placed ahead of you, particularly Isaac Parsley, who happens to be...
You know, that was also awful nice of Dale to actually give a call to Lenny, so that actually tells me that there may be hope for a return to things, you know, in order to cure the peace and everything. After all, you know, there was a civil war. The Union eventually came together with the Confederates, you know, and stuff. So anything can happen, folks.
And I reached out to him on his Instagram. He actually admitted that you and the first place winner in your division were bigger than him. So, I don't understand why he beat you, Dale, honestly. But you're going to have to live with it and deal with it. And Isaac's background is that of a Division III offensive lineman from Wesleyan, I believe, West Virginia. So Dale got beat by an offensive lineman in bodybuilding.
I don't know, any football player, you know, they train pretty hard. So yeah, you can't really look at what they generally do. But I mean, given the fact that someone is an offensive lineman and is already used to training hard, that would be still a good position to where you would become a bodybuilder. No different than a, professional wrestler. And let's not forget, there's been a number of pro athletes that have done other things other than football, think about all of the football players that have been in wrestling. You got Steve Mongo McMichaels. You got, of course, Goldberg. I mean, being a football lineman, as long as they're dieting fine. I mean, I would be more inclined to say that someone in that position would be better suited for bodybuilding than just someone coming off the streets.
And the overall winner of the super heavyweight class, which if Dale had enough sense to scout out the class, which he should have been in, he probably would easily won that, because that gentleman that won the super heavyweight class, he looks like former professional football player Dick Atlas, also known in the ring as Dick the Bruiser.
Dick the Bruiser. Bruiser and Crusher. If he looked like Dick the Bruiser, that must have been one ugly motherfucker.
From head to toe, Dick the Bruiser is still alive and still competing.
Dick the Bruiser died in like 1993. He was actually, ironically, he was bench pressing in his basement with his son, and somehow there was a weightlifting accident where I think it fell on his neck or something. Either that or he busted a blood vessel, but he died while he was training at least, and that's actually a not so bad way to go. Being lifting weights and stuff, that's a manly way of dying, in fact.
Dale, I hope you take this as a stepping stone to improve yourself, as I am, and hopefully that you can redeem yourself. But I believe I could have helped you win this show. You've got to add the size in the off season. You've got to play the knife and fork game, Dale. Not gallivanting all over every bodybuilding show known to man being a baggage handler.
Oh boy. Well, there goes that. I was holding out hopes, but Lenny shouldn't really be going into this. I mean, he called him at the hospital. He could take it easy.
Now, your significant other, whoever they may be at the moment, has to accept this.
And you gonna bring. Oh, God. Well, forget what I just said about maybe there could be some rekindling or something. Uh. Yeah, no misfits without Lord Vader, KCB. You're right about that. No, Lenny is not going to get his weight down. He's obsessed with size. The only time he'll get his weight down is when he's forced to get his weight down, and that may not be a good. That's definitely not going to be a good thing.
Because this is what you are, Dale, first and foremost, as a bodybuilder. And when you're at your best, you inspire everyone to be their best. So, increase the calories. I admire what you did with your midsection, but it's now time to keep that midsection where it's at and get that thickness back. So you're going to have to go back on the heavy compound movements. Remember, it's progressive resistance for size. Never forget that, Dale. Never forget it. I think you may have gotten too cute with different training systems and cables and maybe the blood volume, flushing the blood through the muscle. That's not going to build any lasting size. So get on that insulin. Get on that good.
No. No. Stay away from don't scratch what Big Lenny said about insulin. Don't take any insulin, folks, for bodybuilding. Just stay away from that stuff. Shouldn't take any insulin at all unless you have diabetes or anything.
Good GH. Stick with the injectables, Dale. You know the drill. Stay away from the trend. Keep that for the contest. Use your anabolics along with your test. Stay away from the orals. You need to eat. And hopefully, I can join you next year on some stage one way or another. And as far as you're drying out, Dale, too much water. It was strange how your glutes were more ripped than your back. Again, there's that old monkey on your back, V-back, no pun intended, no Freudian slip intended, Dale. But in the future, I just wish you'd be a little more open and forthcoming with me, as that you are competing. And remember, a good butt kicking makes everyone better. Husband, son, football player, boxer, bodybuilder, businessman. Even Michael Jordan, who's in a cookie cutter sport, said all those times he lost and failed made him a better player. So take that to heart. Don't give up. And bring out that package, like I said, Dale. Keep the waist, make everything gigantic. You have the wherewithal. You have everything you need to do that, Dale. It's just up to you. And don't be fooled. Don't get too fancy. Don't get too sassy, Dale. Because Isaac Parsley beat you. What do you think about that, Dale?
You want to know what I think? I think that Big Lenny's assessment was pretty horrible. I mean, when he was describing the physique, I've not seen Dale's pictures or so forth. But some people told me that he was watery and stuff like that. That's fine, but the recommendations as far as all the compounds are concerned, I mean, you're throwing shit on a shingle, Definitely for starters, don't take any, recommending insulin for bodybuilding is the worst advice that you can ever give. As far as well, I'm not even going to get into the trend or anything else such as that, because honestly, you're not supposed to be giving out that type of advice. But, trend could be used towards the, right before getting on the stage there. That's the last part of any good bodybuilding cycle for contest prep. However, everything else that he mentioned, nah. I think Dale, when it comes to, I think Dale is in a position to assess himself, and he knows exactly what he needs to do. I don't think he needs, Big Lenny's advice. That's just my thing. Yeah, that's why I made a response there, Tater Tot. And like I said, if he thinks that he knows everything about SEO, he can go out and prove it. But he ain't gonna do it. You want to know why? Because he doesn't know anything. He needs to stick to hooking up computers and stuff. What do you think about that, McCluck? What do you think about that? Ooh. As far as skin drying out, I mean, I guess Lasix would be fine for that, Now, competing drug-free, such as myself, I wouldn't have that advice because it's not permitted on stage. I use dandelion root and some strong coffee in order to dry out. But for a, non-tested event, yeah, most people would probably go with the Lasix, but they would still use the same drying methods, of course, in order to appropriately compete. Oh boy. But just wanted to review that one here. I think there was one more. I don't know if you guys want me to go over the... why not? Why don't we do that? We got time. I don't use shea butter. I use cocoa butter. But let's go over everything that started it all. So where's John Bravo's video? John Bravo, where you at? All right. Let's have a little fun, folks. This is what started the whole thing. McCuck and me and Bravo and Lee Priest. I don't even know what McCuck was. I don't know why McCuck is even getting in this business anyway, so.
Said first of all, that why do I get a pass for having plastic surgery?
Why do you get a pass? Because your family had money? Because you've done transplants or you God knows what?
So when I made the video the other day on Sam Sulik, I knew it was going to cause controversy, but I never expected this, bodybuilding.
Anything that John puts out usually does create controversy. No different than Greg Doucette, but, that's social media for you.
Building a legend, somebody I respected my whole life, one of the most...
He is a little bully, a very short bully. Lee Priest hates my guts, by the way, so no love lost there.
Most entertaining bodybuilders that we know, Lee Priest, he got involved. He says, why do you get a pass? On all the plastic surgeries you've done, all the fake hair you've done.
If Sam said what he uses, no one's going to believe him anyway, so why did Johnny Bravo waste his time doing a whole video saying he should tell people what he's taking, because young kids are going to take steroids. They're going to take steroids anyway, Johnny Bravo. Why don't you tell people how much money you spent on cosmetic surgery and your stupid company?
And I'm sitting there and I'm like...
Yeah, I spoke with John. He's pretty... I could say he's a little bit pissed at it, And someone also presented his old pictures. I mean, I know what John Bravo looked like long before any changes were ever made there, so...
Where does this...
he's not using makeup.
narrative come from about this stuff, which I'm going to clear up in this video? But also, when I made that video on Sam, I didn't make a statement. I asked a question to my audience on a topic I felt was important. because I didn't have an answer. I didn't know what Sam should or shouldn't do. So I think there's a lot of miscommunication and some people didn't understand the point of that video. So this video, I'm going to clear up a bunch of things. Now, before I get into it, okay, the subject of Sam Sulek is controversial for so many reasons. But the biggest thing that I've...
Seems as though everyone likes to talk about Sam Sulek, you know. I mean, Deuce said every 24 hours he put something out about Sam Sulek. I mean, Sam Sulek is getting a lot of traffic, and if you mention Sam Sulek in any type of video made, people are going to be more inclined to watch it.
Noticed is, remember I said, Sam, 2.3 million subscribers on YouTube since the spring. He has...
Hey, that guy, what's up?
Probably over 8 million following him total on all social media formats. And if you think about this, okay, there has never been anyone, no Chris Bum said, no nobody, who's gotten this amount of people following him in this short of a period of time. So think about the magnitude, and they all love him, right? They all absolutely love him. So think...
No, that's tomorrow on the midnight run. So, no, there's never any submissions on the 1 hour shows. The only time we have viewer submissions is on Earl Grey Tuesday and on the midnight run. Because those are 2 hour and 4 hour shows respectively. And this one's only a 1 hour show.
Think about all those people that love him. If you dare, remember I was saying, if you dare say anything bad about him, they're coming after you. I didn't even say anything bad about him in any video I made. But just bringing him up is going to get you attacked. Remember I said that? Well, creators, people on social media, people have become such simps. They can't think for their own anymore. They only care about attention and the approval of the people that are following them. And they have this idea in their head.
Well, that is true, but, and I need to let John Bravo know Lee Priest is not going to be one of those people. Lee Priest is basically a get big troll, He's similar. He comes from my cloth of things when it comes to trolling. So, I mean, I pretty much expect that, and Lee Priest, he's been doing it so long, he knows how to get people pissed off. Yeah, everyone's desperate to do that, Maybe I should make more Sam Sulek videos.
If they kiss Sam's ass, right, and not say anything even controversial at all, that all Sam's followers are going to come and follow them. But they don't understand. They're not 20 years old. They're not Sam. And none of those people who follow Sam, 99% are going to give a shit about them. But they still won't speak their mind because they're scared to get attacked by them. So now, Lee Priest, he went on RX Muscle and he also released an Instagram video. And he said, why does John Bravo get a pass? And he started talking all that shit, right? But this is the thing. In Lee Priest's video, which I'm going to play a clip of, he admits he didn't even watch the video. He watched a few seconds of it, right? And then he went off on me and he said, you know what? I didn't even give the video a chance because John is so boring. I'm so boring, everybody. I didn't give the video a chance to see if John said anything good, but I'm just going to jump down his throat.
Now, I haven't really watched the video of Johnny Bravo's because
Lee Priest looks like he's smoked out in that video.
Johnny Bravo's videos are normally fucking boring as shit and he just rambles on. But I saw the heading wide as Sam get a pass on his steroid use. Maybe you said something good on your video, I couldn't care less.
And then got so mad at the comments section, he went off on the people in the comments.
Just reading some of the comments, you're all fucking pathetic. Unfucking believable. If he takes a little bit, like I said, if he takes a lot, if he takes a moderate amount.
He was never off there, KCB. He was never off.
Who really gives a shit? You've used it. And you might say, oh yeah, but I look good for my age. I know what? You're fucking grown men, a lot of yous, and you're worried about what a young kid's doing. Why does he get a pass? What does he need to say what he's taking? It doesn't matter, because whatever he says, no one's going to believe him. If he said he used a small amount or a large amount, if he gave you the exact cycle, what? Are people going to follow the exact cycle and look like Sam? No. Are you that hard up for fucking content that's all the shit you can come up with? Seriously.
Well, content is going to be a little slow right now. I mean, the Olympia just ended, and nobody has died yet lately, so, yeah. The only attention there's been is just Neckzilla, and that's about it.
So many people need a fucking life. So it's not like he gets a pass.
And this is the thing. I actually loved the take he had on a reason as to why Sam shouldn't say anything at all because they're not going to believe him. But as I was saying earlier, in that video, I never made a statement about Sam, whether he should talk about it or not talk about steroid use. I said, I don't know what's a better decision. What do you guys think? That's a question. That's not a statement or my opinion. I'm very careful with my words. Now, I don't think people realize why I even made that video. I didn't make that video to cause controversy. I made that video because, as I was saying earlier, nobody, not one person, has more influence on the younger generation. Just go to your gym and look around. Look at even their hairs. They're doing it like him now, okay? With the curls and the hat, carrot top look. Even they're doing the hair. No one has a bigger influence than Sam on the younger generation when it comes to bodybuilding. So I made the video because...
Yeah, I mean, and that's simply because, you know, for the most part, he looks like your regular college kid, you know. He has the relatable type look. I mean, the Dallas McCarver look. And I keep stressing Dallas McCarver because both him and Sam Sulek must have been kinfolk. I can almost guarantee that, you know, if you go back through Ancestry.com, that they're two related. They may be even cousins. Oh, Lee's always been minty. He's an internet troll. So, amongst being an IFBB... Well, no, he's no longer an IFBB pro. That's right.
Because I care about the younger generation. And I'm sorry. I don't care who agrees with me or not. 99.99999% of people, kids, and I'm sorry, 21 is a kid to me, okay? They have no business doing any steroids. They don't. I know personally the mental side effects, not even talking about the physical ones that can happen as an adult who takes them. Imagine you're a kid with no doctor's supervision to control your hormones, what it can have as an effect on you mentally. And we know, look at all the bodybuilders, we're all crazy fuckers. It's for a reason. And when I said 99.999%, right? You know why I said that number? Because that's the percentage of the people that are never going to be in Mr. Olympia. So why are they going to risk their life and take steroids at a young age? I don't believe in it. Yes, there's people that are wonders of the world like Jay Cutler, Ronnie Coleman, Dorian Yates, Sam Sulek, Chris Bumstead. Yes,
I've always thought Jay Cutler had pretty poor genetics. I mean, he has those T-Rex arms of his. But one thing about Jay Cutler is he was a hard worker, and I think that pretty much paid off as far as his reason for his Olympia wins. Everyone else he mentioned, I mean, they freaking had genetics for days. Yeah, Sam is just promoting his journey towards bodybuilding and getting big and everything. Nothing in particular or anything like that. But his channel obviously isn't promoting steroids. Otherwise, you know, he wouldn't have a channel.
There are some of those. But that's not 99.999% of people. So kids don't have any business taking steroids. And that's why I brought up that topic in the video and asked your opinion on what you think Sam should do since he has such a big influence on the younger generation. And that's the only reason I brought it up. But again, it was a statement for you guys to form your own opinions and make your statement in the comments. It was never a statement from me. Now, Lee said some funny shit in this video, which I want to get into. He said, first of all, that why do I get a pass for having plastic surgery?
Why do you get a pass? Because your family had money? Because you fucking done fucking hair transplants? Or you fucking God knows what?
I've been open with the plastic surgeries that I did. And I even...
Yeah, that's what I was going to get to next. I mean, I pretty much know every surgery that John has pretty much had. He's actually mentioned it. I also know what he looks like. I knew what he looked like long before he got any of the surgeries. And he's definitely gone a massive transformation. I think but one thing he did that isn't cosmetic surgery that made all the difference is actually getting the beard. Because John Bravo without a beard, I mean, he looks pretty bad. So hopefully John Bravo will keep the beard. But yeah, he's had a lot of surgeries. Do you think a long tour? Yes, a long torso would definitely be better. That's why I've never won any contest. I mean, this is a second place trophy, but I've never won a bodybuilding contest because I have long arms and I have a short torso, you know. If I pose incorrectly, I look like a freaking golem on stage, you know. And I do have the pictures to prove that, which will hopefully never see the light of day.
even made a video about it. I busted my nose, and I'll go again. I busted my nose 3 times in my life, and I had botched surgeries when I was a kid, and I had to repair it as of recently 2 years ago. That's the plastic surgery that I did. So if I'm a bad person because I fixed a broken nose, then I'm a bad person for it. And the hair, that's the thing I don't understand. I never even knew I had good hair until I was on social media and I noticed it was a topic all the time. And to me, it's hair. Yes, I love my hair, but I never thought it would cause so many people to make jokes about my hair being fake. And I'm sorry to say, I've been on Propecia, again, my whole life. That's probably a big reason as to why I kept my hair. But my hair is my hair. Now, another thing Lee brought up in his video, he goes, John's parents are rich. Like it's a bad thing. I never knew that having parents that are successful is a bad thing or something to look down upon. Because for me, okay,
I'm not going to go into Lee Priest's mother and father. I was going to say something, but nah, I'm not going to do that. I would say Bravo looks a lot worse without a beard. I've seen him without a beard, and I'm definitely glad. I hope he actually keeps the beard, because without that beard, it's bad. I was going to say something about Lee Priest's parents, but I don't think it's going to be appropriate at all. But, John is somewhat right about it, But at the same time, you should, if you're going to be using wealth, you should use it for better production in life or so forth. So, and I've never asked John his financial status or so forth, whether he is getting money or not from his parents or anything like that. That's really none of my business whatsoever. But, I think for the most part, parents should be left out of any conversation, Totally. What I was going to comment to the sword as far as Lee Priest's parents are concerned, but like I said, I'm just going to leave it out and give a general statement that, hey, parents, whether they're successful or dirtbags, it has no bearing on a conversation about Sam Sulek.
and I'm going to get a little bit into this story. My parents came to this country at a very young age. They didn't speak English, okay? When I was a kid, I grew up, he
must have had some money. I mean, they were able to, videotape their wedding, In my family, we didn't videotape anything until maybe early 2000s. The only thing we had was the old Polaroid instant picture, Shake it, baby, shake it like a Polaroid picture. That guy, let's not go and we're not going to mention that. Let's no, don't say that stuff again. That's not cool.
My sister, my parents, in a small apartment.
And Big Rob Fitness is an idiot. Everyone knows that.
Want to say John's parents are rich is because they want to discount who I am.
Thanks, that guy. Yeah, I didn't. That's why I held my tongue on that because I was gonna generalize the statement itself there, but yeah, leave the parents out there. So I appreciate you taking that off. You didn't actually have to take it off, to be honest with you, but we're good on that.
As a person. But anybody who knows anything about Middle Eastern culture, they know you never, ever go to your father, put your hand out, and ask him for $1. And that's what my father told me as a 13-year-old kid. To the daughters, they'll give him everything. But to a man, you don't give him anything, and he earns everything on his own like a man. And that's the person that my father raised, which I'm thankful for. And in my life, and I don't like to talk about finances, but I feel like I have to a little bit in this video. In my life, okay, I worked a full-time job 20 years as a software engineer. I had multiple successful businesses. I bought, sold, restored classic cars. And again, if you guys want to dig far enough on the internet, because I know you're good enough, you can see all this stuff. But I don't like to talk about finances online because it's not the look that I want to give. But the reason, like I said, the reason people say things like this about me, it's not just Lee, I've heard this many times, it's because they want to discount who I am as a person. And I want to thank my parents, and especially
It's a nice song. But yeah, that's how. I mean, this came in and just fizzled out, You're probably not going to hear anything else from Lee Priest about John Bravo, but I could be wrong. I mean, they've, for the most part, kissed and made up, And what are we left with? The modern day Gomer Pyle against the Great One. By the way, folks, I'm not even sure where the name Great One comes from. I certainly didn't. It didn't come from me. It could have either came from Big Lenny or somewhere down in the piss or so forth. I'm not sure. I don't care. But folks, we got about 20 minutes left, so get your questions in. If you wish to put a donation in, you can do that. But we're going to close out the show shortly. So we're going to get that South Pole in. And we're going to get a little music as well while we're at it. Yes, indeed. What does Brad do for society? Brad just lives a normal life there, you know. I mean, just an average job here. Frank from the gas station. What's up, dude? Hope you're all right. It's not a matter of what people do for society or so forth. It's what you do, you know, because you don't work for society, you know. You may work at a job there, but you are not part of the job. You're supposed to be working for yourself. Why do you go to work for? To make money for yourself. You know? Now, when you get married, you do things together, but it's still two. You know, marriage is a combination. So it technically is still one person there. You know, one organization, you know. So a married couple is going to do something for that one organization that they've established, which being is marriage, you know. Sort of like whenever I was married, you know, and stuff. It wasn't, once I got married, you know, you can't you can't think as an individual. You have to think as two individuals together, you know. Which means I had to do things I normally didn't do. You know, I don't have any pets. My ex-husband had pets, so I had to clean the cat litter, you know, and stuff. You know, I had to clean up. I had to wash the dog and everything, get rid of the fleas, you know. Had to do some lawn work here and there, you know. Fix furniture, you know, and stuff, so. I would tend to agree with you, Blaha. If you've seen Bravo at a bar with only his left ear pierced and... I just read that just now. If I saw Bravo at the bar, I'd say, what's up, man? You know, have a beer with him, you know. That would be it, just like any other friend, you know. I mean, no homo with that, folks, you know. I look at him as a friend, not some sort of person that I want to fuck or so forth, you know. I don't want to fuck, you know, John Bravo, you know. He's a pal of mine, you know. So we cool. So if I saw him at a bar, I'd have a beer with him, you know. Chew the fat about bodybuilding, and that would be about the extent of it, you know. Now, I'm not someone that hugs people. I give people handshakes. Whenever it comes, for me, when it comes to hugging, that's a little too intimate for me, you know. That's just me, you know. I don't like hugging. I like handshakes, you know. Even if I'm on a date or so forth, I might squeeze in a hug if I'm on an actual date, but most of the time I just shake hands. Hemingway's always looked like a weirdo, whether he's ripped or not, so that doesn't surprise me one bit. I don't know. I mean, I think people have the impression that gay people, you know, any man they see that they just want to fuck, you know, and that's wrong. Wrong. No, Raul, you know, I don't go gaga over guys or anything. I'm pretty much a reserved person, you know. If I need to make my feelings known to someone, I will. But you know, it's kind of a, you know, that's kind of a sissified way of doing things, you know. Not only that, I mean, you have to understand, me being 46, and I've slayed a lot of mangina and vagina as well. So, I mean, it's not like I need to conquest anything, you know. I would be just more lazy just to jerk off there, you know. I mean, the thing about it is, it beats anything, you know. Literally beats anything. Think about it, folks. Whenever you jerk off, you don't have, for one, you don't have to get on some sort of dating app or so forth. You ain't got to talk to someone in order to screw or anything like that. You can just get on your couch with some tissue and grease and get things done. You ain't got to pay for a date or anything. You don't have to risk getting arrested for picking up a prostitute. And that's the thing. You see all these people getting arrested for solicitation for a prostitute, when all they could have done is just jerked off, you know. Jerking off is pretty easy, you know. You know, it's a time saver for the great one, you know. I mean, if I really need to get my rocks off here, so forth, then okay, with that, and I get bored from jerking off, okay, fine. But I see jerking off as a matter of convenience as opposed to just trying to pick up every dude out there. You never know what someone actually has out there, folks. There's a lot of crazy diseases out there. You know, you got freaking chlamydia. You got crabs. You know, if I want crabs, I'll go to Red Lobster or something. You know, just keeping it real and telling it to you like it is. You know. But it's amazing how people will just get in trouble for sex. People get killed over sex. You know, messing with somebody else's wife or something, you know. All for sex. Just jerk off, folks. It's more convenient. That's my rant for the day, folks. Yes, I will be working full-time soon. I may have to cut back on some of the shows. But, you know, I have to entertain the right job, as well as to negotiate the proper pay. Yeah, she got 17 years, which she actually got a break there, KCB. Considering that she actually killed she caused the death of someone. And it's going to be I think she's going to be in minimum security, so. But 17 years is a long time, and let's see how old Tammy is. She's 50 years old, so by the time she gets out with credit, she's going to be in her early 60s. She may be able to get out in maybe like 11 or 12 years. But it's really sad, you know. I mean, how many times, she's been arrested multiple times for drinking and driving, DUIs and stuff. Yeah, she's going to be in there for... Yeah, she'll be out. She can probably get out in maybe 10 or 12 years, possibly. Now she's in Florida, so with overcrowding, it could be sooner than that. But she's gonna be in her 60s by the time she gets out. Well, Rolex, I mean, the one thing, I mean, I can continue doing what I'm doing right now. But, you know, I got to save for retirement. So getting a job is going to be easier for me to retire because I'm still pretty well behind. I've caught up actually a little bit since I actually left Verizon, ironically. But I still got a long way to go, you know, before I'm pretty comfortable with it. Even though I'm going to be working for the rest of my life there pretty much. I'm always going to be working on something. Nothing wrong with having a good job, you know. Keeps you in line. But I'm going to entertain that good idea, I'm going to entertain and see what's out there job-wise. I mean, the good thing is I haven't burned any bridges, so, I mean, even if I decide to go back to Lowe's and work the customer service desk, it's going to be something for me to do. I'm going to have health insurance. I'm going to get a decent pay because I worked at Lowe's for 5 years when I was in Silva. My starting pay would be around $18 an hour. That's not too bad. And because I pay all my bills with my business anyway, I mean, that's going to be all money that I could just pocket, you know. Because I have very minimum bills. My bills are very minimal because I'm a minimalist. I'm a miser, you know. So wherever I work, I mean, even if I take up a job as a dishwasher at McDonald's or something, which obviously is not going to happen, I mean, it's going to be all money that I can just bank. I don't need to use any of it. How did Jason Blaha? I have no clue. Well, Nick Hogan, you know, getting a DUI is just disgusting. Matt, what's going on with you? Spider-Man 2. I don't have a game system to play Spider-Man 2. But I have played the other Spider-Man games. I thought it was awesome swinging around. I mean, it's amazing how much technology has accelerated the gaming industry. Probably Jack Osborne, Raul, since you say that. I wouldn't want to hang around any Hogans. But I would not, but realistically, I wouldn't screw either one of them. I mean, I saw that reality show, The Osbournes, Raul. Just a disgusting family. And you guys already know that I don't like being around people that curse. And you know, if you see their reality show, they were cursing up a storm. Can't do. I don't like hanging around people that overtly just curse for no reason. If I'm cursing, it's for comedic purposes. It's for my show. When I'm around friends or so forth, if I'm at a shindig or something like that, you know, I don't go and curse or anything. I only speak the king's language, you know. I only speak the kings, folks. The kings. I don't speak Ebonics like, yo, 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 what's up, my nigga? People who talk like that are idiots. Black, white, and white. I mean, I've seen white people talk like, you know, try to imitate black people. What do they call them? Wiggers or something like that? I hate people like that, you know? Because technically you're insulting black folks. You're acting as though we all talk like that. No. In that district in Chicago, those usual urban people, you know, they try to make exceptions to people speaking Ebonics. That's bullshit. Speak real English, folks. In this country, we speak English, not Ebonics. All right? I don't mind. I mean, Pugman, I don't mind standing up there, you know, walking around and stuff. I mean, I did that for 5 years, and the secret to standing on your feet all day is to have 3 different pairs of shoes. Just don't wear the same shoes every day. Switch around your shoes, and that way, you know, you give your shoes time to puff back up, and as far as the cushions are concerned. So if you have if you're gonna work at Lowe's on a floor like that, you know, the only thing you need is 3 different pairs of shoes, and you just rotate them. Thoughts on travel reward credit cards? Oh yeah, I have an Amex Platinum. I use those things all the time. I got a $50 Stacks gift certificate that I need to use. But here's the thing there, you know, why go and spend your money on your debit card when you could be earning points and just pay it off each and every month there, Matt? Not only that, when I use my Amex card, you know, or if you use a credit card, you have literally no chance whatsoever of getting an overdraft fee. It's impossible, you know? If you're running low on money, just keep it on the balance, and what's the worst you're going to get? You're going to have to pay an interest fee. That's it. But, you know, you get like 2 overdraft fees. That's like freaking $70. They charge $35 for an overdraft fee. Yeah, even the Asians are doing that type of stuff. 3 days. I mean, in this country we speak English, but you know, folks, I'm beginning to learn Spanish as well. Espanol. Because I've been thinking about, you know, getting a little vacation spot in Mexico, you know. I mean, I have a nice home. I have a nice single wide home and everything like that. But, you know, it's always good to have a change of scenery, you know. And I got a pal down there that's going to help me out, so I may decide not to, but, you know, the only other language I actually know is French. And I've practically have no use for French. I've only spoke to maybe two French people in my life there. You know, in Lowe's there was a guy that came in there speaking French, and we had a little discussion. And that was about it. Since then, I'd have to get a refresher course, so I'm just going to say, well, if I'm going to learn another language or so forth, why am I going to relearn French? You know, I'm just going to learn Spanish, you know. I think everyone should learn a second language. I'm going to be honest with you. It gives you more job opportunities being bilingual. Not only that, it makes you more culturally inclined. And, you know, it gets you right back up there with the other European countries because, you know, people in Europe and Germany and everything, all of them know how to speak English, and they speak their other regular language, you know. Got to be like, I want to be more like just like every other first world country, you know. I mean, not talking third world, you know, and stuff. So try to learn a second language, folks, if you can. Well, Matt, it's going to be really impossible to travel for free with just points. Unless you're Aaron Singerman. You'd have to rack up a whole bunch of points. Just try to get things discounted. Attempting to try to get more points, you'll end up spending more money. Good deal, Matt. Fellow Lowe's employee. I love working at Lowe's there, Pugman. I wouldn't have worked there for 5 years otherwise, you know. I mean, even though it was Silva, I could have went back to work there was a Walmart, or I could have just worked at Harris Casino and made more money. But I like working at Lowe's. No, I'm not going to be down in Thailand. I don't want to run into Tony Huge or anything. Do I think white people look the same? Of course not. Even black people don't look the same, you know. I mean, I was married to a white person for like 7 years, but I'll be honest with you, I still only know half the things about white people. And I'm just being as honest as before. Just because I've been married to a white person for 7 years doesn't mean I'm going to be an expert at white people, you know. But one thing I can tell you, you know, is that they definitely don't look all the same. I've seen white people that do look somewhat the same, and I've seen twins, obviously, but, you know. You know, I hate it when people saying, well, I got a couple of black friends, or, you know, I've been married to... Just because I've been married to a white person doesn't mean I know everything about white people, you know. A lot of things I don't understand still, you know. I definitely understand more than your typical Negro or so, but... McCuck's been trying to get my attention for like 8 months, Jay. He's just trying to get attention. He's trying to get a kick. But I'm going to end up kicking his ass. But, again, folks, it is 6 o'clock p.m., and that is the end of the Happy Hour live stream. Want to thank everybody for joining me. Y'all be sure to tune in tomorrow for the midnight run. 4 hours of minty fun. And as always, peace and soul.